I'm Bluebee. This is 14 Days of Zines. Welcome to day 1. Today we're talking about magical mini-zines and how to make them in an analog way. Part 1. Inspiration. Mini-zines are what I would consider to be the gateway into making zines. This is where I started out making zines, and this is where a lot of people do start out making zines. Here are some of other people's zines that I've collected that are very analog. Literally just a sheet of paper, fold it into a mini-zine, and I'll show you how to do that shortly. And then they've just written on this with a pencil. This one is the Magical Predictor, a one-sheet zine. It doesn't actually say who this is from, but I picked this up from the Goblin Market in Orlando. Here's another one I picked up from the Goblin Market in Orlando. Again, an analog zine. Just a sheet of paper and a pen is all that you need. It says flip inside out, please. And there's more on the other side. So you don't have to use just one side of the zine. You can use both sides. This one is another analog one that I picked up at the Goblin Market. It's called I'm So OCD. Again, this is just a sheet of paper and a pencil. Okay, this is one of the first zines that I made, B-zine, and this one doesn't have a ton of words in it. I cut stuff out of magazines, out of books, papers. I've got some sequins on here. I did some typing on a typewriter. I've got some washi tape. I have a shark fact. I wanted to draw a shark. This is the master copy, so you can feel the texture of everything. But then I do have some copies of this where I just opened it up and I made a copy. And I copied these ones at the library. So this is how the copy came out. So as you can tell, the washi tape doesn't have quite the same sheen to it. But that one is another one I would consider an analog zine. We're just taking a sheet of paper and we are sticking stuff on it. Kind of a collage one, I guess. And then of course I have the one that I talked about yesterday, which is a little planning zine on how to make a zine in the way that I typically like to make zines. So if you want to download that, I will leave a link in the description below and you can download and print that one for free. Part 2, the idea. I've had this idea of making a series of zines called Dinner and a Movie, where I take a movie and then I put together a little menu of related foods you could eat while you are watching the movie. So as you may have guessed, today we are looking at Scott Pilgrim. Now I could just take a sheet of paper and just put my ideas down on there, but I want to make a background and I'm going to use my printer. So I'm going to use these in the background, maybe a page from the comic, the DVD, and I want to put them on my scanner bed and then just make a copy, and then I'm going to use that as my base. So I've tried a few different configurations. Let's see, this one I must have moved while I put in the scanner. This one, I think I need to have things flat on the scanner because this one's too far away. It's kind of blurry. This one I thought was better, but when I folded it up, this would have been the front cover. Or, I mean, I guess I could have used any of these, but I think I kind of want this on the front cover. This one is the one that I'm going to use. I move things around. And this is kind of flat to the scanner. I have this in a position where I can get this part on the front cover. Part 3, planning. Here's basically what I want to include on my mini-zine. So we have the front cover and the back cover. I have a one page spread here, another page spread here, and another page spread here. So that's 3 spreads that I have. We could do them individually, like an individual page, but I think I'm going to do them as 3 different spreads. So here's the 3 things that I want to include. I want to include some information about the movie. I also want to include the food and menu, and then I want to include a recipe. So I think for me, it makes most sense that we put the information about the movie on the first couple of pages just to kind of introduce it. Then I think I would like to do where I list the food from the movie and then the menu that we're going to actually put together. And then for this one, I actually want to include a recipe for some cookies because I want to make some flour cookies, like Ramona flour cookies. So I'm going to put the recipe on this page. So let's do that. Part 4, the master copy. I have a background on this one. I am going to use this sticker paper. This is just a label, 6x4 white sticker label. I'm going to write my information on here and then I will stick it in here. That way my writing will at least have a white background and we'll be able to read it easier. I also think I want to use my label maker to make the title of the zine on the front of it, just so it looks a little bit different. Or maybe put it down here. The pages are about that big. I also have the runtime here. Let's see. These offcuts, I'm going to add some quotes to the back. I have a couple of favorite quotes. All right, I think I'm happy with this. We have all our pages. We have our spread with information about the movie. We have our spread with the menu and food featured in the movie. And then we have our recipe. And then I have some quotes. And then, of course, my information on the back. Let's go print some copies. Part 5, making copies. I'm going to try printing on some colored sheets of paper. Part 6, final reveal. Part 7, thoughts. I really like printing out black and white zines on colored paper. And I think that these turned out really good. They're still legible on all of the different colored papers. I really like how the zine turned out. I think it's a really easy to replicate format for a zine, and I'd like to do more of these dinner and a movie zines. I think the format of doing information about the movie, the menu, and a recipe, or potentially something else, would work well for other movies too. I could see making a bunch of different dinner and a movie zines. So that's it for day 1 of analog mini zines, and join me tomorrow for digital mini zines. Thanks for being here, and I'll see you next time.